lady had been on, she's got 70 different diagnoses. She's on over 80 different pills, and she says that her life is tearing her family up. And Dr. Phil goes, do you want a better life? And she goes, no. This is the life that I know. So guess what? And her mom and dad are preachers. Hello. Okay, so she knows the word. So she's going to end up dying, not because of some disease, but because of all the stupidity of not saying, Father, do I really need all 80 of these pills? Lord, get me to the right doctors that can show me. I had a gentleman, E7, on active duty with me. He took 20 different pills. I told him, and he looked like a zombie every morning. I said, dude, take $100, go down and see a different doc, and find out. Come to find out that every one of those drugs were contradicting the other drugs, and he got down to like 5. You know? And that's a big, I mean, he had color in his face. He was joyful. See? He says that he heals all our diseases. Okay? But people, well, but he won't heal mine. Okay, let's just instead of him putting a roadblock in front of you, let's just put a roadblock in front of him. Well, he's throwing these stumbling blocks in front of me for me to learn. Okay, how stupid does that sound when he says, I've already healed your diseases? Hello? If he said it, why not receive it? Well, you got to give your tithe. Well, wait a minute. If I don't have to believe that he's healed me, then why do I have to give a tithe? Why do I got to give an offering? Why do I got to come to church then? Why do I have to believe if I don't have to believe part of it? Why not? But let's believe it all. He said it. What do we say? If he said it, I want to do it. If he said I could have it, I want it. That's me. But we have to also play a part in it. You know, I used the example of me and Angel. If me and Angel's married and she's in Mississippi and I'm here, we ain't benefiting from being married. There's no benefits for being married. She's got my name and, hey, my wife's down there. Okay? But when you take this and you say, you know what, I want it all. Because all of our healing is divine healing. That's the healing that we get, is the divine healing. All our recovery from sickness, injuries, surgeries, they're a result of a healing properties that God has built into our bodies. You know, if we was go back and eat like Adam and Eve ate, we probably wouldn't have diabetes. We wouldn't have big boys like me standing up here in front of you. We would be doing things the right way. We'd be eating meat in proportion to the way we're supposed to. We would be using coffee beans as a healing product instead of a mind-altering product. We would be using tobacco, not as tobacco as we know it today, but as a healing process, because every little weed that's out there is a healing. That's the reason why the state of Colorado's made marijuana legal, Brother Jack, because it's a healer. Okay, dude, but what kind of job are you going to get while you're on that? Well, you're not going to work for the feds. You're not going to drive. You're not going to do anything around money. So is it really healing you? No, it's just going to keep me where I can go get that check and get my buds on. No, come on, man. There's something more important than smoking a little weed. And Christ is more important. He'll take that mess away from me. He took alcohol away from me. He took speed away from me, took coke from me. I had to do something. I had to turn from it. I had to leave my old buddies and find new buddies. I got my new church buddies that say, hey, Brother Jack, you don't want to snort that white stuff. It'll kill you. You don't want to shoot that stuff in your veins. It'll kill you. It'll make you where you're not very good. You got to get to that place where you rely more on Christ than you do on the stuff. Matthew 15, 19, and 20. So we're going to look at a scripture here that talks about what kind of can hinder us from receiving a healing, okay? For out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts, murders, adulterers, fornicators, thieves, false witness, blasphemers. Those are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man. You remember the story? They were arguing about washing hands, not washing hands, and this being unclean, that being unclean. But the things that's in our heart that's going to come forth, those are the things that really are killing us, because we're cutting each other down at below the kneecaps. We're hurting one another with the voice. We're hurting one another with our actions. You know, moms and dads who think they've raised their kids up really good, and then their kids go out here and do a piece of stupid. And you're like, why? You know, you go out and you steal something. You've had mom and dad's giving you everything from the time you was a toddler all the way, got your car in high school, got your little prom dress. You're going to go into Macy's and steal something. Now, you had enough nerve to come ask me for a car, but now you're going to go into Macy's and steal something. Now, how stupid does that sound? Why? I don't know. Turn away, doing what they want to do. They're not thinking about things. They're not realizing that in the heart, what's in the heart is going to come out. Let's go to verse 4. Love and compassion. Who redeems us from, who redeems our life from destruction, we've already talked about. Who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies. Okay? Tender mercies. The Beatitudes, Matthew 5 and 6. Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. So if you ain't looking for righteousness, are you going to get filled? If you're trying to get over on the man, you know, I've got some friends of mine who's playing the disability game right now, you know, and them guys can go out and hunt. They shoot them big old 12-gauge, 20-gauge shotguns, walk up and down the mountains. They take their rifles out elk hunting, and you're going to play a disability game? Come on, man. Don't be lazy, because that's all they're doing. They're being lazy. Me and Angel was at the truck stop, and the trucker got laid off from his job. He said he made more money being on unemployment than he did when he drove, so why go back to driving? There's another program. You know, we got to get rid of the programs and raise up the church to be like the church was back when our grandma, and grandma were in the church, and the church took care of folks. What we have now says, you know, oh, you need help, go up here to the office, and they'll hook you up with this program that the government's got going on, and they'll hook you up with this program the government's got going on. We'll hook you up with this program, and before long, you're just you're part of the program, and you can never get out of it. And God doesn't want a program. He wants a relationship. When we have relationships with Christ and others, things happen for us. If you're looking for a job, start talking to someone who has a job. Hey, you guys hiring? Okay. If you're looking for a job here in Colorado Springs, there is a job fair for the United States Post Office on Wednesday. Write the number down. Come in here on Wednesday, or tell me that you need to be here on Wednesday, and I'll come in and I'll open it up so you can be on the computer. Okay? But if you don't want to, then guess what? I can't force you. All I can do is give you a sandwich. Hungry? Here's a sandwich. But I'm going home tonight to eat some more of that leftover stew. Why? Because Angel can go buy some groceries. Well, that's kind of hard. What I'm trying to get you to look at is when I start seeking God, things start to happen for me. When I start to open the door and saying, Father, show me who to go talk to about a job. Who should I go to talk to about healings? Who should I go to talk to? How should we elevate the church to the next level? He brings people in front. Okay? Now, let me ask you this question. If I'm having an issue with alcohol, do I need to go and talk to the guy that I just got drunk with last night? No. You need to go and talk to someone who's either recovered from alcoholism and God's put him on a new path, or her, okay? Or you need to find someone that never has taken alcohol. You know, I tell you, my door is always open. I do not even take cough syrup anymore because it's got 0.0001% of alcohol. And the Lord told me no alcohol. You know, if you make a bun cake and bring a rum bun cake and you bring it in here, I'm not eating a rum bun cake. Me and Angel went to the store, went to Applebee's to eat the other night, and I said, I want a steak. And she goes, well, it's in bourbon holiday sauce or something like that. And I was like, well, forget that. You know, well, what else can I have? Okay, I'll have chicken. But you know what? When you take alcohol out of the picture, it limits to what you can eat because that's how they do it. But it's okay. Why? Because I'd rather do what God's told me to do and be a little hungry and fill up on dessert than not to eat the protein that I should and do that way. Just kidding. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that righteousness. We're looking to fulfill that righteousness. Psalms 107:9. How did I just do this? Okay, I really messed up. Okay, let's back up. Go back to verse 4. I'm sorry. There we go. For loving kindness and tender mercies. I don't know how I skipped that whole little paragraph. I'm sorry. On Facebook, there's a story going around right now that talks about a young man who spent almost 2 years wandering the streets, begging, being homeless, sleeping under the bridge. He walks up to a man and taps him on the shoulder. And he said, sir, can I have some money to get something to eat? When the gentleman turned around, it was his father. And he said, son, I have been looking for you for the past 2 years. Everything that I have is yours. We need to rebuild this relationship. We need that type of relationship. They hugged, they cried on each other. You know, that just gives you those God goosebumps. You know, them bumps that say, you know what? These are true stories. These are happening all the time. These are people that in the natural say that I don't have a good home life. When we look at it, what are we doing? We're tapping on someone's shoulder, and they turn around and we see the face of Jesus, and he says, everything that I have is yours. You got to ask for it. You want prosperity? Prosperity is there. You want healing? Healing's there. Well, no, that's just for them other folks. That father could have very well told that son, hey, my riches are for your kids. Oh, that's right, you don't have any, so my riches are for what I want to do with them. But he didn't. He said, everything I have is yours. You know, we got more than one kid, you know, you kind of split it up. But the point that I think they were trying to make with this story is that, you know what, we just have to be willing to receive it and to see that, you know, we have to have loving kindness and those tender mercies. Because you know what? I've made mistakes. Has your kids made such a bad decision that you could never forgive them? You know, in the natural, you just don't know what they did, Brother Jack. You're right, I don't. The boy, it sure is hard to forgive, but you know what Christ never says? You know what you just did? And rub it in your face like we like to do to our kids. Do you know what you just did? How can you steal from Macy's when you've got everything that you ever want? He doesn't say, how many times have I told you not to drink? How many times have I got you home safe from the bar and you told me, Lord, if you get me home this time, I'll turn to you. He said, I'm not a keeper of wrongs, but you know what? I can guarantee you it's been a few. Because what happens? We do the same thing. The only thing is he doesn't put conditions on it. But we as the natural man put conditions on it. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to